When we think of T-Rex, the first image that comes to mind is a massive creature, roaring, muscled, crushing prey with the most powerful bite on Earth. But then comes the question, was the most fearsome predator of the prehistoric world actually smart? Or was it just a mindless killing machine, acting on pure instinct with no strategy or planning? For years, many have assumed T-Rex was dumb. Why? Because it had tiny arms, a heavy body, and well, it was a dinosaur. But that's only surface-level thinking. To truly measure intelligence, we need to look at real scientific data, especially brain size and structure. And that's where the encephalization quotient, EQ, becomes important. EQ is the ratio of brain size to body size. Simply put, for a given body mass, a larger brain usually means greater intelligence. In modern humans, EQ is about 7.5. Dolphins score around 5. Chimpanzees between 2 and 3. So what about T-Rex? Based on fossilized skull studies, T-Rex had an estimated EQ of 2.0. That might sound low, but for a dinosaur, it's impressive. T-Rex's EQ was significantly higher than many herbivorous dinosaurs like Triceratops or Stegosaurus, and even higher than earlier predators like Allosaurus. So to call T-Rex stupid just because it's a dinosaur is unfair. It ranked among the most intelligent of its kind, especially within the group of large theropod carnivores. But EQ only tells part of the story. What's more important is the brain's structure. Through CT scans and digital reconstructions based on fossilized skulls, scientists have discovered that T-Rex had several well-developed brain regions, especially those associated with vision, smell, and motor coordination. T-Rex's vision was exceptionally powerful. Its eyes faced forward, which allowed for stereoscopic vision, the ability to perceive depth and judge distances accurately. This trait is essential for predators. It could not only see clearly, but also track the position of its prey in space, a skill shared with modern birds of prey and big cats. Even more impressive was its sense of smell. The olfactory bulb, the part of the brain responsible for scent, was highly developed. This gave T-Rex the ability to detect prey or carrion from great distances. Some experts believe its olfactory capabilities may have rivaled those of modern bloodhounds. That meant it didn't need high-level problem-solving to locate food. It just needed to follow the scent. As for motor control, T-Rex's brain showed strong development in areas that managed movement and balance. There's no evidence it was clumsy or uncoordinated. In fact, it was likely a finely tuned hunter, capable of adjusting its bite force, maintaining balance while chasing prey, and reacting swiftly to threats. So, with sharp vision, a supercharged sense of smell, and a brain designed for motion control, was T-Rex really the idiot that internet memes make it out to be? Or was it a highly optimized predator, designed not for abstract thought, but for survival in a world without mercy? Of course, it wasn't capable of advanced planning or using tools like humans, but if the goal is to hunt, survive, and reproduce, then T-Rex did just fine. It ruled its ecosystem for millions of years, stayed at the top of the food chain, and had no equal. Still, the story doesn't end here. Because when compared to smaller, supposedly smarter predators like Velociraptor or Troodon, does T-Rex still hold the advantage? Is strength enough? Or in nature, is intelligence the deadliest weapon of all? In the next part, we'll place T-Rex side by side with its prehistoric rivals, from Giganotosaurus to Velociraptor, to discover who was truly the most intelligent predator of the age. Now that we know T-Rex wasn't as dumb as many believe, the real question becomes, was it the smartest predator of the prehistoric world? To find out, we need to compare it to other famous carnivorous dinosaurs, some older, some more massive, and some far smaller but possibly much cleverer. And first up, is Allosaurus, the apex predator of the Jurassic period. Allosaurus lived nearly 80 million years before T-Rex and ruled its era. But when it comes to brain power, Allosaurus falls short. Its skull was long and narrow, with a relatively small brain and underdeveloped sensory regions. It had poor depth perception and limited olfactory capacity. While it was an effective hunter for its time, Allosaurus was clearly less refined in cognitive terms than T-Rex. So in a direct brain power matchup, T-Rex wins with ease. Next is Giganotosaurus, often considered a size rival to T-Rex. Many once thought Giganotosaurus could compete for the title of top predator. However, its brain structure tells a different story. Giganotosaurus had an even smaller brain relative to its body size, with an EQ of about 1.0, less than half of T-Rex. Its eyes were set farther apart, giving it poor binocular vision, and its sense of smell was weaker. Essentially, Giganotosaurus was a giant brute, powerful but not particularly sharp. Once again, T-Rex comes out ahead. But things start to shift when we compare T-Rex to smaller, more agile predators, especially Velociraptor. Despite being only about 2 meters long, Velociraptor had a relatively large brain for its body size, with an EQ of around 4.0, roughly double that of T-Rex. Fossil analysis shows well-developed brain regions related to vision, fine motor control, and coordination. Many paleontologists believe Velociraptor may have hunted in packs, using tactics to take down larger prey, something T-Rex likely never did. Velociraptors may also have had complex social behaviors, possibly communicating with sounds or gestures. If this is true, they weren't just killers. They were strategic hunters with social intelligence, similar to modern-day birds of prey. So in terms of strength, T-Rex dominates. But when it comes to tactical thinking, Velociraptor becomes a serious contender. But the biggest surprise in this comparison is Troodon, a small, lightweight carnivore about 2.5 meters long and under 50 kilograms. Troodon is considered by many to be the most intelligent dinosaur ever discovered. With an EQ over 5.0, higher than any other known dinosaur, Troodon's brain was shaped and structured much like the brains of modern intelligent birds, like crows and owls. Troodon had large eyes, excellent vision, sharp hearing, and most notably, a brain capable of memory, spatial awareness, and learning behavior. Some scientists have even speculated that if dinosaurs hadn't gone extinct, Troodon might have evolved into a species with human-like intelligence. It sounds like science fiction, but the potential was there. So, if we compare T-Rex to dinosaurs like Allosaurus and Giganotosaurus, it clearly wins the intelligence battle. But against Velociraptor and Troodon, smaller but far more cognitively advanced, T-Rex begins to look more like a brute force predator, effective but less nuanced. This raises an interesting perspective. Does intelligence always scale with size? Or can the smaller, smarter hunter sometimes outmatch the giant? The answer isn't simple, because it leads to a deeper question. What is intelligence for? Do you need Troodon-level smarts to succeed in the prehistoric world? Or is it enough to be just smart enough to survive, hunt, and reproduce? In the next part, we'll dive deeper into that question. When it comes to survival, is intelligence the ultimate weapon? Or is adaptability the true key to dominance? And by that measure, who really deserves the title of evolution's greatest survivor? After comparing the intelligence of T-Rex to that of other predators, one thing is clear. It wasn't the smartest dinosaur. Troodon had the highest brain-to-body ratio. Velociraptor displayed pack behavior and hunting strategies. But does that really matter? In the prehistoric world, was intelligence truly the key to survival? Or was something else at play? T-Rex didn't strategize. It didn't have sharp claws like raptors, It didn't hunt in packs. It didn't coordinate roles in group hunts. Yet, despite all that, T-Rex reigned at the top of the food chain for millions of years. It didn't need plans. It could end everything with one bite. High intelligence sounds impressive, like what we see in Troodon or Velociraptor. But the truth is, these species went extinct earlier than T-Rex. They never became apex predators. They didn't spread as widely or dominate as completely. So what truly matters? Brain power or adaptability? T-Rex didn't have a massive brain, but it was enough. It could process what it needed. Detect prey, track it, attack, avoid danger. It had powerful senses, an optimized body, and strong survival instincts. That shows us something important. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to be smart enough. And T-Rex used its brain perfectly. More importantly, intelligence doesn't guarantee survival when the environment changes suddenly or when a species can't adapt physically. T-Rex, on the other hand, had a powerful body, a flexible diet, and could even scavenge when necessary. It wasn't picky. It didn't rely on fragile behaviors. It took what it needed. That's why it thrived for so long. Another point. T-Rex lived in the late Cretaceous, a time of intense climate shifts and ecological stress. It didn't just survive, it thrived. That proves adaptability can matter more than cognitive complexity. In the wild, survivors aren't always the cleverest, but those who adjust, conserve energy, and seize opportunity. We humans often see intelligence as the ultimate metric of success. But from an evolutionary perspective, intelligence is just one of many tools in the survival kit. And by that standard, T-Rex was a master of balance between instinct, sensory input, and decisive action. It couldn't set traps. It didn't collaborate. But it didn't need to. When T-Rex appeared, prey had two choices: run or die. If they weren't fast enough, no strategy would save them. T-Rex's intelligence wasn't about complexity. It was about simplicity done right. So the final question is, who was the best survivor? Was it Troodon? Smart, small, but gone early? Was it Velociraptor? Agile and social, but limited by size? Or was it T-Rex? Not the smartest, but always efficient and dominant? The answer may never be clear. But if we look at survival time, global range, and apex status, T-Rex clearly wins the evolutionary game. It's not just a symbol of strength, but a living proof that instinct, balance, and efficiency can outlast even the cleverest mind. And if it hadn't gone extinct with the rest of its world in that mass extinction, who knows? T-Rex might have evolved into an even smarter creature. Maybe we wouldn't be the only intelligent species on Earth. So what do you think? Which dinosaur do you believe was truly the smartest? Does brain power beat instinct? And if you had to bet on one predator to survive the ancient world, would you choose T-Rex, Velociraptor, or Troodon? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Because in upcoming episodes, we'll ask even bigger questions. What if the dinosaurs never went extinct? Could any of them have become as intelligent as humans?